name's Nellie Polizzi, and I attempted to give a speech earlier today at the World Breastfeeding Week Saigon meeting, but turns out my daughter's a little scared in front of crowds. So I just did want to still share my journey with you. So I thought I'd just make a little video and post it on YouTube. As I was starting to talk about, I began my journey 2.5 years ago when my daughter was born. She was born in a FV hospital in Ho Chi Minh City, and when she was born I had no idea what I was doing. I relied on the midwives to sort of guide me, but generally was very confused about breastfeeding and didn't quite know what I was doing. Obviously it worked out okay, and we successfully breastfed for 6 months and then a year, and with each milestone I saw more benefits to breastfeeding, and I decided to continue our journey. You know, one big benefit was that, as I mentioned, my daughter didn't really get into solids until much later, about 18 months. So if it wasn't for breast milk, I don't know what I would have fed her for the first 1.5 years. It was great when we were out and on the go. I knew I always had, you know, fresh, safe food for her to eat. I was going to nourish her properly. Especially as we moved into the toddler years, I've seen so many more benefits that I didn't even realize. She's gone through some really fussy eating periods where she hasn't wanted to eat much of anything. She's also dealt with some illnesses and teething pain, and I was always so happy to know that I was nourishing her with healthy food through breast milk. Well, she was, you know, in times when she wasn't eating so much. I also noticed my daughter rarely gets sick, which has been a huge benefit, especially when compared to her formula friend Playmates. She's been sick a handful of times in the last 2.5 years. She rarely has meltdowns. I know she had one today, but I found that when we're out and, you know, she gets hurt or gets upset, she's comforted very quickly by the breast, which really reduces the number of meltdowns and you know, really big emotional outbursts, especially when we're out. And the biggest thing for me is the close bond my daughter and I have. I feel like it's really special, and you know, I've never really known someone as well as I know her, and I feel really lucky to have that connection with her. So what I wanted to talk about is kind of what I'm doing now in Saigon. Over the past 2.5 years, I've talked to a lot of people about breastfeeding, and I have heard some really crazy things. I've heard everything from, if you're a vegetarian, you can't breastfeed. I've been a vegetarian for 5 years, and I'm breastfeeding just fine. I've heard fat babies are better. Oh. There's healthy fat, and then there's obesity, which definitely isn't good or healthy for your baby. I've heard breastfeeding's only for poor people, and these are just these crazy miseducations that people have, and misunderstandings about breast milk and why we have it and why babies need it. So right now, what I'm trying to do is help educate people about breastfeeding, and here in Saigon I'm doing that primarily with foreigners that are living here. As I mentioned, I didn't have any support. I didn't have a wonderful group like Betty Booty to join, so I've actually taken it upon myself to start that for foreigners and Vietnamese women in Saigon. So I'm running a monthly free support group for women to join. Right now there's foreigners, there's Vietnamese women. It's a real mixed group. We have all ages of babies there, and it's really great. I'm loving doing these breastfeeding support groups. I'm also just trying to pass on the knowledge that I've learned over the years through some workshops that I'll be starting in the fall, as well as giving private consultations to women that need some extra help or need some extra support to get their breastfeeding journeys underway. I'm really excited about the opportunity to be able to talk to everyone at the Betty Boutique group and meet so many breastfeeding women. I'm so proud of the work that Home has done, and that everybody is breastfeeding and happy and spreading the word about baby wearing and breastfeeding and attachment parenting styles, and it's really, really great. So thank you so much for letting me share my story, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.